Bishop Nkal, in his letter addressed to the Ambazonian Governing Council, alleges and accuses the Ambazonian Governing Council of committing a crime. You cannot be trying to help somebody in good faith and you are accusing the person that you are asking to have compassion by saying that they have kidnapped Mrs. Munde. By saying that we have kidnapped Mrs. Munde, you are implying that our intention of holding her is to take money. The Ambazonian Governing Council have not asked for any money from her family. The only thing we have asked is that Paul Biya should release 70-year-old Pa Fongalafo. That Paul Biya should release the team of Ambazonian people that he kidnapped from Nigeria, that the Nigerian courts have declared that that act was criminal in nature. We have asked that Mr. Paul Biya should release our prisoners that are being chained in hospital beds in their country. That is what we have asked. We have not asked for any money. So for Andrew to insinuate that we have kidnapped her is actually trying to put Mrs. Munde into trouble. He's trying to please Paul Biya because we have seen him parading himself with Lele Afrique. What I want to ask Bishop Andrew, when is the last time did you call for the release of the 40 bike men in Bamenda who had traveled to bury their colleague in Oko and was arrested by the Cameroon military in the name of Amber Boys? When is the last time have you feel compassion to these boys to use your authority and make a public appeal to the Ambazonian, to the Cameroonian governor, Lele Afrique, to release these boys? Journalists have made investigations, individuals have made investigations, their family members have complained that these boys are simple bike riders who were going to bury their brother. Bishop Andrew have stayed mute. He have no concern for the common people. He wants to show love, superficial love, to Mrs. Munde. One would think that Bishop Andrew, would use this opportunity to appeal to Paul Biya to release 70-year-old Pa Fongalafo. This same Archbishop, this same Bishop Andrew Karl, is the same person where one of our general who was rescued by civilians and taken to a Catholic hospital was dragged out of the hospital bed with plasters on his body, taken to a B camp in Bafut Airport, tortured, brought back to Ntarinkun, put in the middle of the tar, and the terrorist Cameroon military execute this boy, General Tokandu. The mother collapsed from the shock of the brutality of the killing of the son, and the mother have lost consciousness. Today she is partially paralyzed. That woman is 70 years old. You had no compassion to even put out a word against those criminal activities committed by the Cameroon government with a patient that was in your care in a Catholic hospital. How do you have a moral authority to talk to us to have compassion when you have not demonstrated compassion? Why did you not ask? It is very simple. Ask Paul Biya to release at least Pa Fongalafo, who is 70 years old. He was kidnapped from Nigeria. He has done nothing wrong. He has never advocated for the use of gun. He is simply advocating for the right of self-determination, yet they have arrested him. Pa Fongalafo is also not just an activist. He is a father. He is a husband. Why can't for the release of Pa Fongalafo from Mr. Paul Biya if you want Mrs. Munde to be released? When is the last time Bishop Andrew called for the release of Mancho BBC? Mancho BBC, a teacher in Progressive High School, a journalist and an activist who was protesting against the council, demanding a right of every good citizen He did never carry a gun. For standing up on a coffin and asking for services from the city council, was arrested by Mr. Paul Biya and sentenced to life imprisonment for act of terrorism. Where is Bishop Andrew to call for the release of Mancho BBC? When did Mr. Andrew call for the release of Penn Terence? Penn Terence, a vice principal. Penn Terence, a lecturer in the University of Bamenda. Penn Terence, a young, elegant Ambazonian youth, for simply putting on a t-shirt that was written on it, "I support federalism." Penn Terence was arrested and sentenced to 12 years in prison. The only evidence was that he had a t-shirt that was written on it, "I want federation, diaspora support federation." Where is Bishop Andrew to ask for mercy to Mr. Paul Biya to release him? What about the lawyers who are lecturers in the University of Abuja, who had children in their care, their husbands and wives? What about Seseko Ayoktabi? He's a father, he's a husband. He's not just a leader of an organization, he's also a father. Where is Archbishop Carr to ask for the release of the Naira 10? Why can he not ask for the release of Shufai? Why can he not ask for compassion to Mr. Paul Biya? Mr. Bishop Andrew Kell is a hypocrite who has apologized and want to accept the evil nature of Mr. Paul Biya and his regime. He wants our people and he wants his congregation to accept evil from Paul Biya as normalcy. And he wants us to be compassionate with the people who are partner in crime with the regime in Yaoundé. His letter is a provocation that can only bring mayhem to Mrs. Munde. Before you can have the moral authority to ask for the release of a criminal and an enabler and a traitor, first of all, spend your energy to write letters to the regime of Yaoundé to release Pa Fongala, who is 70 years old, to release Penn Terence, to release Mancho BBC. These citizens have done nothing, yet they have been kidnapped, taken away from their family. Look at the young daughter of Mancho BBC. Look at the family of Penn Terence. What did they do? Don't they deserve mercy as well? No, we will not accept criminality from Mr. Paul Biya. When injustice becomes law, resistance is a duty. We will resist Cameroon. With every means possible, we will resist Cameroon until the last Cameroon military is booted out of our territory. They are walking around raping our women, killing our people. We will not accept the barbarity, the atrociousness of Mr. Paul Biya as a normal. Never and never again. And to the president of the Bar Association of Ambazonia, who have also demanded not just that we give him classified information, but have demanded that we justify our authority. We have asked him, Harmony Bogba, in what authority were you standing there in the IG and proclaiming power in the name of Ambazonia? It is in the same authority we proclaim power. Remember that Honorable Weber have called the IG group a group of individuals and friends who went to Naira and make themselves a government. So with all that, all the people who are there trying to ask for compassion from the Ambazonia Governing Council for the release of Mrs. Munde, people that we respect a lot, like Ebini, Christian Ebini, Siseko Ebini, Harmony Bogba, and many of these people are just people acting out of insecurities. They are not bold enough to assert the dignity of their own people over tyrants like Mr. Paul Biya. They want to be apologetic and create a situation where our people will accept evil and wickedness from Paul Biya and expect compassion from us. No. We will put our foot on the ground. We will not blink. We will make sure that those who are asking for compassion should also realize that if they were indeed looking for compassion, the people, they would be looking at the victims of the crimes here. They will be looking at those who are perpetrating the same. They would be focusing on asking Paul Biya to release these people. At least ask Paul Biya to react. But they are not. We have become their own koko. We will stand for justice for our people. We will stand to restore their dignity. We will wipe the tears of the eyes of the mother of Baby Caroline. We will wipe the tears of the eyes of those who have been murdered and killed and raped, and they are unable to speak out because they are afraid of the Cameroon occupation forces. We are the hands of justice. We are the authority of our people that are duly and properly constituted to prosecute this war and pursue the common interests of our people that have been expressed to be that of independence and separation.